Hello, my name is Jacques Landry. I'm the Chief Technical Officer for the Canadian Cycling Association, and welcome to the July edition of the CCA Podcast, a podcast that is put in place to give everybody a bit more information as to what's going on in the high-performance fields of Canadian cycling. To start off, I'd like to talk to you about the BMX Nationals that were held in Kingston, Ontario about 2 weeks ago. Nationals that went off without a hitch, except for the fact that the Mother Nature was not on the BMXers side on the Saturday, where all the competitions were postponed until the Sunday. The results out of the Sunday meant that we, however, were able to select a very competitive team of elites and juniors that will represent our country at the next World Championships held in Australia in August of this year. Moving on to road, we are on the second weekend of Road Nationals that are held in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce. The first weekend just gone by was host to the U23s and the elite categories, where we crowned some very good athletes in both the individual time trials and the road race events. This weekend is again host to the Road National Championships in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, to the Masters category, the Paracycling category, and the Juniors. The juniors, incidentally, will, coming out of the time trial and the road race, the junior men will be competing for a spot on the national team that will represent Canada at the Tour of Abitibi coming up in July, end of July, and afterwards the Road Worlds that will be held in Moscow, Russia. On the mountain bike side, we just finished a couple of weeks ago. Dan Prue, our national mountain bike coach, hosted a training camp in conjunction with the Canada Cup that was held in Canmore. 12 athletes answered the call from the Western provinces, and coming out of that training camp, Dan said he was very enthusiastic as to the depth of field and the potential that we have right now in the Western provinces regarding our mountain bike cross-country athletes. Dan is now hosting this weekend again in conjunction with the Bromont Canada Cup, another development camp that will cater to the eastern provinces. So we are expecting again about a dozen to 15 athletes that will be present at this camp, and I am certain we will find as much depth and talent in the eastern provinces as we did in the western provinces. All those mountain bikers that are now in Bromont will be heading up next week up to Saint-Félicien to compete in the national championships cross-country events. And the following weekend, we will have the downhill nationals that will be held in Massif du Sud. Following the downhill nationals, we will be able to select our team of downhillers that will be representing Canada for at the World Championships again that will be held in Canberra, Australia. Following that, we'll talk about the paracycling sport. As mentioned before, the road component of the paracycling championships is being held right now in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce. Following this weekend, a couple days after, we will be hosting the track nationals in Bromont, Quebec, where that will be held on 2 days during the week. And afterwards, we will be following the road nationals. We will be selecting a team that will be going off to Italy to compete in an international event that will have for an objective of giving our athletes a better assessment of where they stand on the international field of play, and giving them all obviously some development opportunity in doing so. Finally, moving on to the track, what's been going on the track, we've selected our team juniors that will be representing Canada at the Moscow World Championships in August. And these athletes have been selected based on some time standards that were posted and met by these athletes in different velodromes in Canada. So basically, we allocated for a selection camp, but it was not needed. So those 12 athletes that have been selected to go to Worlds will basically start off with a training camp in Burnaby at the end of July, early August, before moving on to competing at the World Championships in Moscow. Finally, I just wanted to make a note and welcome Richard Woles back on board as the national track coach. Richard will continue working to a certain degree with Cycling BC in developing new coaching talent, and we are very happy to have him back on board, contributing to the national development and national programming on the track side. So this concludes the July edition of the CCA podcast for July 3rd, 2009. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for any other podcasts in the next few weeks. Thank you very much.